Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, someone is making allegation on social media that there is someone who has kept more than 50 rifles in his house. And according to that, this issue or that move is so much dangerous for any nation. And I think this is a discussion we need to have, because it's like, once the government is found in a mess, they look on everything to hide on or to hold that, to make sure that they are confusing and convincing the public. Because this is coming at a time when we have had just the concluded drama that happened the other day. So we will look deep into that to understand where this government is heading to, because those are now the Kenya Kwanza bloggers. Now, that's not our discussion at this time. I want us to focus a little bit on the current budget from the Treasury in two offices. Of course, there's that budget for the president, which is the most high budget. But I want us to focus on the budget that has been allocated to the Deputy President, Gachagua, and then the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Mudavadi. Because the emerging information is that Mudavadi has been allocated more money compared to what Gachagua has been allocated, and that tells you where the power is, because money can tell you where the power is. And according to the Stureh Digital, the Treasury has allocated 300 million to Musalia Mudavadi office more than Gachagua's office. So if you check on the budget given to Musalia Mudavadi, which is actually the recurrent budget, it is 751.9 million shillings. And Rigathi Gachagua has been allocated 450.85 million shillings. So it tells you the difference there. 300 million. So we are seeing an office here which is in the constitution as the second highest office in the land, Deputy President office. Then another office, which was created through a gazette, through a what? Executive order. The Prime Cabinet Secretary office, which Ruto said that it's going to be the third powerful office in this country. That office has received more money compared to the second most powerful office in this country. So the question is, why is it that Mudavadi has bigger budget compared to Rigathi Gachagua? That is what we want to try and analyze here. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and back to this discussion. Now, Gachagua's main role is to deputize the president. That means in the absence of the president, you play his role. But you will discover that most of the time, the president will be there doing his work. So his work will be, which is in the constitution, chairing the IBEC, the Intergovernmental Budget Committee. And then apart from that one, of course, cabinet, and the president is there also to do the same thing. Then the issue to do with the other foreign funders. So within that, it tells you that there is nowhere Rigathi Gachagua will be involving himself with the issue to do with maybe development. No. But now if you go to Musalia Mudavadi, you will see that he has more roles than Rigathi Gachagua, because he's there to oversight the public service performance and the management unity and the government delivery service. Look at that. Performance and then the delivery service. Then supervise ministries and the state department, and then also coordinate the government legislative agenda in the parliament. So, Mudavadi want to oversee the implementation of project and then also delivery from the beginning of the project to the end, when it comes to the issue of allocation and all those things. So it tells you that the office of Musalia Mudavadi will have more staff because this is a recurrent budget. And Gachagua will have at least lesser staff compared to Musalia Mudavadi office, because this one is going to be a very busy office. So what does this one tells you? William Ruto has more trust in Musalia Mudavadi to help him run the government than Rigathi Gachagua. And the first reason could just be an obvious one. Gachagua has little experience when it comes to serious management of a country. Unajua, country is a big one because he still has the DO mentality. Just one-time member of parliament, and then he's a man who is all over everywhere with emotion to react to everything. He don't have the wisdom. And unajua what naambia, wisdom comes with the age, but this one, it is age without wisdom. So Mudavadi has served in higher ranking positions and he has a reputation. Because of that, he is in a better position to help William Samoei Ruto when it comes to matters of governance. That will be the obvious one. So having Gachagua is having a drunk driver who can commit several accidents. But Mudavadi is well experienced, tested, and proved he can run a government. That's why most of us believed that if we don't have Raila Odinga as the president, because that was the best person we could have, because Raila Odinga comes in with the issue to do with the reforms, every reform that was needed in this country to make everything go right. He was the right person. Sasa Chebukati katupea Ruto. But then if it was not Raila, the only individual who had the best ideas in this country was Musalia Mudavadi, the man who comes in with the economic idea. The only person who was coming out openly to tell Kenyans what they're going to face through during the campaign. Lakini sasa kwa sababu anafanya under William Ruto, he will do what William Ruto need him to do. As simple as that. So he can't have his own input inside there, hapana. So Raila was the best person tukikosa huyo Mudavadi ama sasa Kalonzo. But these two, for me, ndio watu wangeleta mabadiliko hapa. Now that one aside, the other issue here that William Ruto is telling Gachagua is that Mudavadi is the man I'm trusting, but not you. So he's literally demeaning Gachagua and uplifting Musalia Mudavadi. And this explains the reason why we have had the war between the Western region leaders and the Mount Kenya leaders. Especially when Rigathi Gachagua led a riot on Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. You saw how people from Mount Kenya region were throwing their jabs towards Sakaja. That was a cold war between Musalia Mudavadi and Rigathi Gachagua. But Gachagua was fighting Mudavadi indirect using Sakaja. Because now when you touch on Sakaja, definitely that's a person who was fronted by Musalia Mudavadi. He was even to run on ANC ticket. But because ANC did not have that popularity in Nairobi, they had to play their game around and make him the candidate. And again, it was also the other way of terming Bishop Margaret Wanjiru from splitting the votes. Because now if you have Margaret Wanjiru, then Sakaja there, these two, it wasn't going to work. So the only way to kick her out was to bring Sakaja to UDA party. That's explaining the reason why Sakaja has involved ANC, UDA, and then ameleta watu wa baba hapa ndani. So it is the ODM, ANC, and the UDA party. So that's the truth. So the reality here is that Gachagua is simply being told to play politics, because definitely he has come out more of playing politics than doing the real job on the ground. But Mudavadi is a man who is saying that let us move on, let us work, let us concentrate. But Gachagua is not ready to concentrate. Every time you want to mention Yule Mzee, He want to tell you things have happened in this country. He want to tell you more about Uhuru Kenyatta. So everywhere he will be talking, it is all about war. And lastly, there is something William Ruto is telling Kenyans here indirect. That is like, even the money you see for development in William Ruto's office, because I know he has about 17.8 billion in the current budget, but then 5.9 billion for development. It means kuna mtu mwenye atasimamia hizo kazi. So the person who is overseeing the work on the ground, it is the prime cabinet secretary. So Ruto is saying one thing here. He's going to play politics throughout. But then the issue of managing this country in terms of development and those legislative agendas is Musalia Mudavadi. So Ruto is handing over main jobs to Musalia Mudavadi and then get to the field to play politics. So we are going to have 5 years of campaign, politicking going forward. But the worst thing is that once they start an agenda, then it gets in the hands of Raila Odinga. Raila turned that agenda into a tool to destroy William Samoei Ruto. For example, he brought in the issue of Chebukati. We know how Raila Odinga turned that issue and it became a destructive tool to William Samoei Ruto. He has brought in the issue of Matiang'i and all those things. We are seeing how the game is going. So that's the situation we are having as of now. So to William Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi is of more help than his deputy Gachagua. Hiyo ni kama tu kupiga mtu teko na mwambia ondoka, lakini sasa indirect.